Where does one encounter God? Read a couple of things. One of them on the Sufi quotes page, where Rumi says, I looked for God and I didn't find anything. I looked for myself and I found God. But I've also seen the idea that God, in some sense, Allah, in some sense, infuses nature. So I think I'd be interested in knowing about that.
How does one encounter God? A human being is a veil himself. And when he lifts this veil of I, he encounters God. I mean, this whole universe, and what is seen and what is unseen, including you and me and everything, right? This is all multiplicity. This is all multiplicity. This is all the reflections of the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Whatever is present. Whatever has been created, or whatever the creation is the reflection of the Creator, right? So one way to encounter God is to reach Him, or to experience His glance through the reflections, right? We see the beauty, and we actually see the beautiful, right? We have this, I mean, since we are experiencing this physical life, so it is very natural for a human being that we want to feel that touch, right? We want to feel or probably experience God in 3D, in 3 dimensions, right? But He is beyond any dimension, right? So it is not possible as such that I can touch God. If I can touch Him, He is not God. It is an idol, right? So God is beyond all the human possibilities as such, beyond all the human perceptions as such. So to encounter God while still in this physical existence, it is impossible in that sense. But then again, you have quoted Mawlana Rumi, and he has rightly said that I searched for God, right? This reflects what? That I was searching outwardly. I searched for God. Search means that you embark on journey, you go here and there and to look for something, because back in your mind is that something has been lost. Sometimes, I mean, I met one sage, and he said that sometimes I feel pity for those who are going to the places of worship to find God, because in back of their mind is that probably God is something which has been lost. So, but that intention is very beautiful, that you are actually in search of God, although you have limited that search to either to a mosque or to a church or to a synagogue or to a temple or to any pilgrim or any site. But He is omnipotent and omnipresent everywhere. Now, if I am not looking at Him and I'm not encountering Him, then problem is within me, right? I know and I believe that He is very much present over here, right? If I'm not encountering Him, then this does not raise the question that He is not there. This implies that there is some problem with my approach, or there is some problem with my sight, probably. So I have to look into me, and that's what Mawlana Rumi is referring too, that when I searched him, I didn't find God. But when I, what did you say?
When I looked to myself.
When I looked
myself.
inside myself, I found God. Because when you actually embark on this journey of looking inside of you, a time comes when you find that there is nothing. And that nothingness, Islam starts from that nothingness. This is the first, not the first religion, but this is very unique, that the Shahada, it starts with La ilaha illallah. La means nothing, right? Illallah, but God, right? Nothing but God. So when you reach to that nothing, it means only God, right? And if it is something, or even me, or even so many things, other things, if I remain in that multiplicity, right, I won't be able to actually encounter God. Right? So, and when I say that we remain in the state of multiplicity, it applies to my conscious, basically. My conscious is distracted. It is involved in so many thought processes, volunteer and involuntary, right? It is all time engaged, and it is engaged into distractions. And this is very natural. God wanted it that way, because He says that I am a hidden treasure, right? So around that hidden treasure, right, He has made so many distractions for me. Take it as a game, for example, right? That you are on a treasure hunt, right? And the one who created everything, He is the treasure, right? And He is the best who knows you, who knows the one who is on his search, right? So He knows perfectly you. And with that understanding, He has made the distractions, right? So your thoughts also become a distraction. And your thought of searching Him also becomes a distraction. Because then you go into that thought all the time. And He is not thought, He is being. So, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that فَقَدْ أَرْفَ نَفْسَهُ فَقَدْ أَرْفَ رَبَّهُ, that the one who knows his self knows thy Lord, right? So this self-knowledge is very important, and the realization of the self-knowledge is that it's nothing, and whatever we have built on that nothing is an assumption. So how a veil itself can see the one it is hiding? So I am the veil actually. All this, sometimes I think, probably, these are the crazy thoughts, or it appears to be crazy to some people. But what if all the objects present, they take me as a veil to God, right? And in their true search, they actually somehow try to uplift me, right? Or sometimes they want to go through me, right? So I am the veil myself. It might not be very easy to understand to many people, because it's not new, it's very, very old. This search started from the very first human being, and we are still in that process, right? And those who reached Him, right, those who encountered God, those people are reverent today in every faith. But how many those are? If we look at the history, very few,
Very few.
Very few. I mean, if we look at the history of the population of the human beings, it is probably billions and billions. We don't know, right? Yeah, because there were no census earlier. Yeah, this is a new phenomenon, but it's a huge number. Right? We don't know that the number of the people who spend their lives on this planet Earth, but certainly we have some idea of the number of the sages in the past. Those at least who are known. I mean, there are many who are not known. So they are very few. So few are those who actually reach to that treasure. I mean, when it starts, right, there are many. When you go to the treasure hunts, there are many. You start the journey, some become sick, some gets into something else, then some lose the patience, right? Some just recall that there are some other obligations more important than those of, I mean, that why we are, because it is delaying, right? It is a hardship they are going through. And to some, probably some pirates will hijack them, right? Or the ship was not good, right? And or there were some beasts they got on. So those who reach there find that there is a great book I would like to suggest, not only to you but all to those who are watching this video, to read that book. It is called as Mantakut Tayar, and the translations are available under the name of Conference of the Birds. Right? So in that Conference of the Birds, like, I mean, for example, if for a moment we think of ourselves as the bird, right? So there was a conference held in the birds community, and they said that, okay, in the animal kingdom they have lion as a king, right? With the humans they always have some emperor, and with the trees there are some. So why not we have somebody, I mean the king, right? So let's, I mean, it was not a democratic process at that time. People, because so do not take it as a democracy that there was an election going on with, within the birds community, that we elect some king. King should be worthy, right? King should be worthy. So they thought that, okay, let's have some king. And there was one wise guy, one wise bird. He suggested that, there is Huma. Huma is a mythical bird, right? Nobody has seen the Huma. So they say that Huma is the only bird who is really the king of all the birds. So let's go out and find Huma, and in the story it is called as Simurg. Simurg. So Simurg is that king. They went to search and to request him that that Simurg should lead them. So all of the birds, they flew, and this is the journey. I mean, I'm not telling you the whole story because I want you to read that book. That is very important and beautiful piece of literature. It has been written by a great Sufi saint, Sheikh Fariduddin Attar. He was from Persia, and the original text is also in Persian language. So they embark on this journey, and in that journey there are 7 valleys, and those 7 valleys also symbolizes different human states and the phases of a human being. And I hope that every reader can relate him or herself to a particular bird also. So if you want to find that which bird is closer to you, even that you can find in this book. So they embark on this journey of 7 valleys, and then, I mean, each valley, when they are crossing, they find some problems, and few birds make the excuses and they go back. But at the end remained only 30 birds who reached to that to the valley of the Seymour. And when they reached there, they saw nothing. After the hardships of all this journey of 7 valleys, when they reached finally there was nothing. And they asked that where is the Seymour? And I don't know, should I tell you before reading that or not? Anyways, Seymour, Si means 30 and Murg means bird. So there were 30 birds at the end. So they were the Seymours. Yeah. So encountering God is some sort, of this thing. That when at the end, as Maulana says, that I searched to find God, I was unable, I couldn't find Him. But when I searched inside me, I found Him. So this relates to that journey of the Seymour. So do read Seymour story in the Conference of the Bird, because how can we just define it if we are not on the search? But that is a very beautiful read. That will let you know that what is the answer of this particular question. Thank you.